Welcome to the Elegance of Nae. I'm your host, Nae, and on this podcast, we'll be talking about a variety of topics with amazing stories. Let's get into it, shall we? Welcome back to the Elegance of Nae Podcast. I'm your host, Nae, and we have a new person in the building. We have the lovely Evona Baker.
What's up?
What it do? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you mentally and physically today?
Mentally, I think I'm pretty good. Physically, I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yeah, how are you?
I am good today too.
That's good.
Yeah, mentally straight, working hard, physically. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. So let's start from the beginning. So how were you growing up? Like, where did you grow up?
So I grew up on the west side of Detroit.
Okay.
Two-parent household.
Mhm.
I have two older sisters. I'm a baby.
Aw.
My older sister, she's 19 years older than me.
Oh wow.
And then the middle sister is 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So I grew up more with my middle sister than my older sister.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah.
So how were you growing up from middle school up into elementary to middle school, excuse me.
I mean, I was pretty quiet
Mhm.
as a kid. I really stayed to myself. I hated the first day of school because I was always with my mom.
Yeah.
So when they dropped me off, I'm like, you're not staying? Like,
Right,
you're going?
Right, you're leaving me?
Right. So I did cry every first day of school until about 4th grade.
Oh wow.
Like,
it really be like that.
it do. I was sad. I gotta do this every day for the next 9 months. Okay, cool. So, yeah, middle school was pretty. It was pretty middle school experience. You going through puberty,
Oh
trying
yeah.
to figure out what's going on with your body.
Yeah.
Why my voice sound like this?
All
Yeah.
janky, high pitch, low pitch.
Okay.
Trying to be in the breaking stages.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Were you very social in middle school? Did you go into a social environment?
I think I started to come out my shell a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
in middle school. Once again, going through that puberty stage, not knowing what's going on with my body.
Yeah.
6th grade, I remember I was short and kind of chunky. 7th grade, I'm tall, now I got boobs. It's like,
It
whoa.
was like, what just happened from point A to B?
Okay, so it was kind of like a very confusing
Yeah.
stage of my life. So
I can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I definitely experienced, of course, I feel like a lot of females experience that in 6th grade up into 7th.
okay,
For sure.
because that was the weird stage right there. That
Yes.
was very weird.
Oh my gosh. So how were you for the transitioning of middle school going into your high school?
Well, see, for elementary and middle school, I went to the same school.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to high school, it was a totally different atmosphere for me. And all
Yeah.
of my peers were going to the high school of my elementary and middle school.
Yeah.
So when I went to high school, I'm like, okay, I don't have any new friends. I don't
Mhm.
have any friends. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking this time to reintroduce myself.
Like, make me reintroduce myself.
Okay. So I took that opportunity because it was a fresh start for me. I didn't have to see the same people that I was seeing since kindergarten anymore.
Yeah.
So I was able to come into who I thought I was.
Mm.
And we're gonna put a pin in that because we'll revisit that.
Oh, okay.
So I would say going into high school,
Mhm.
I really started to figure out who I was.
Building your character.
Most definitely.
I feel that.
So yeah.
So what elementary and middle school did you go to?
So I went to Old Redford Academy,
Okay.
elementary and middle school. And then high school I went to Ben Carson.
Okay.
So
All right. So it was very interesting.
yeah.
So were you in any after school activities in high school?
I did National Honor Society all 4
Nice.
years. I wanted to do volleyball. I really did want to do that. Was never an athlete in life. So I was like, let's try it in
Let's
high
try something
school.
different,
I don't
right.
know why I waited to high school to become an athlete,
Mhm.
but literally the day before the volleyball tryout, I tore a ligament in my knee, and
Wow.
volleyball career never started. So
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. It really be like that. It would be like everything happened for a reason. It's
Okay.
probably was like, yeah, sit down.
Sit down.
Like, have a seat.
Have several seats actually. So
So from your high school into adulthood, how was that transition for you then?
Hard.
Elaborate.
Hard. After graduating high school, all I knew was academics my whole life. So college was a no-brainer for me. Like, everybody else was going to like military, going off into trades, or just not going to college altogether. I didn't have that option. Like, it was always instilled in me, like, you're going to college. There was no option for you. So I was...
What college did you go to?
I went to Michigan State.
Okay.
I went to Michigan State. I hated it.
Oh, wow.
I did not want to go to Michigan State because all of my high school friends or high school classmates were going to Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to be different.
You wanted to go somewhere else.
I wanted to go to somewhere else. I was actually enrolled in a whole nother college.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, oh, I need a dorm. And it was like, we ain't got none.
Like, oh, okay.
Well, all right. So I had to call admissions. I literally had to beg the admissions department to let me in, to re-enroll me into Michigan State.
That's crazy.
I had to beg them.
And what did you go to college for?
So I originally went for kinesiology. I love sports and I love medical. So I was like, why not put the two together? And I wanted to be an athletic trainer.
Oh, wow.
But
that's different.
Michigan State told me otherwise. I could not pass those classes.
Oh, wow.
I was not passing my kinesiology classes. And I'm like, I'm gonna drop out.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I was gonna drop out. I ended up on academic probation my first year.
Oh, wow.
And they were watching me like a hawk. Like, they were not letting up.
Wow.
And so I went to my advisor and I was like, listen, y'all want me to bring up this grade point average, but these classes that I'm taking,
it's hard.
I'm not going to be able to. Yeah. So we need to figure out what's about to happen.
Yeah, what we about to do.
So he enrolled me in an HDFS class, and that's Human Development and Family Studies. I took that class, and I was like, oh, I love it here. Absolutely love it. So I started taking more of those classes, and by my second semester of sophomore year, I declared a new major of Human Development and Family Studies, and I thrived.
That's amazing.
I thrived in that major. So...
Wow, that's good for the advisor of like him helping with that transition for you, and then seeing a whole different dynamic that you wasn't even thinking of to go into.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So how has it been ever since going into that major and transitioning into like who you are now?
So I've always been the type of person that I love helping others. That has always just been who I am since I was a kid. I've always loved helping, like no matter what. So I'm like, okay, if I'm majoring in something that's gonna help people and I can make money at the end of the day, why not do it? And a lot of people criticize me because it was like, oh, if you go into this type of field, because it's a social science type field, and in social sciences you don't make as much. Yeah. And people criticize me a lot, like, you're not gonna make anything. But when you love what you do, the money does not. It doesn't matter. Nothing. Yeah. It does not matter. So I think a lot of people commended me on that because in our generation, it's all about how much money you got.
Yeah, at this point, which is not. I feel like people that grow up in our generation, we're more understanding of the hard work of what we really want to do compared for the money. Yeah, we think about the money too. However, if it's something we really passionate about, we don't be thinking about that dollar bill sometimes. Not at all. If we know we can go crazy with it and we can also be creative with it in that field, we can go crazy in so many different ways. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So, so I literally graduated with a 3.04. Okay. And I had a 1.79 by the end of my freshman year. So
all right now.
I say I did pretty good.
Okay.
I think
pat yourself on the back.
Okay. Because every time I walk in my living room, I see that degree.
Okay.
I did that.
Okay. I did That's what I'm talking about. So let's talk about that. So from you looking back, from you struggling to trying to really go crazy with these classes to you accomplishing, how was that transition for you? Like looking back at it now? What advice would you give off of that?
So, in the midst of trying to bring up my grade point average, I was determined to prove to myself, like, you could do it. Mm-hmm. No matter how many roadblocks you come into contact with, like, you can push through it. Mm-hmm. And my ultimate goal was to be on the dean's list. Mm-hmm. Did it twice.
Okay. Yes.
So some advice for someone that's struggling, I would just say, just don't give up. Like, it's gonna be hard. Life is hard.
Life is hard.
But it depends on how you let life treat you. Mm-hmm. Don't let life knock you down.
Yeah.
Do not do it. Because you're gonna be mad at yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because then you're gonna be like, I woulda, coulda, shoulda moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
okay. Sure.
So when I came in contact, because at the end of my school career, or however you want to call it, mm-hmm. I was encountering like a lot of like sophomores and juniors. Mm-hmm. So I was on my way out. Yeah. So they asking me questions, and I'm mm-hmm. like, wow, they looking up to me, asking me advice. So I laid it out to them. I really did. Like, it ain't easy. Mm-hmm. It's not. Because if it was, everybody would have went to college.
Yeah, and everybody would come out with degrees,
right.
bachelors, masters.
So I'm like, but if you really want it for yourself, mm-hmm. you gotta fight. You gotta go get
push
it.
through. Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
That's literally similar to what I went through when I was in college too. Because I went for child development.
Okay.
But I minored. I really was going for clinical psychology, but minoring in child development.
Okay.
But I wound up getting a full ride for child development. So I did that. But what stopped that process was COVID. Mm. So that's literally what stopped and it was so hard doing classes mm-hmm. online because all of my classes are in person.
Yeah.
And I can't do, like, it frustrated me even thinking about it. Because it's like, man, like, just going back and thinking, like, you went through a lot trying to do that. Mm-hmm. So, and I love psychology. Ooh.
Okay,
that's one of my favorites.
Is so interesting.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
I love learning the mind.
Okay.
Body language.
Like, why you act like that?
Like, you okay? Like,
all right.
What's up with you? Like, something ain't clicking.
All right, something not connected right, but we can figure it out.
Let's connect the dots.
Okay.
Let's sit down. Let's have a session.
You want to talk?
Let's have a conversation.
Okay.
So now that you've gotten your degree, what are the age ranges that you are mostly working with?
Okay, so I graduated fall of 2021, so December. Okay. So going into the new year, mm-hmm. I actually worked at a school. Mm. I was a teacher assistant for kindergarten. And like the first 2 months, the principal pulled me to the side and was just like, listen, you're doing an amazing job. We want to promote you to our building sub. I was like, okay, cool. Did the building sub thing. I had to cover a first grade class for the last like 2 or 3 weeks of the school year because the teacher went on maternity leave. Mm. I'm like, all right, cool. I ended up the school year, whatever. And then one of the dean of students at the other building of the same school, I go to church with her. Like, she's my mentor and everything.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I'm about to go over to another school and be the principal over there. You got a job over there if you want.
Oh, sweet. Connections. Okay.
So I said, okay. I went over to the school, did their interviewing process. Mm-hmm. She was like, just send me all of your resume and stuff like that, and I'll send it to HR so they can talk about your salary. Mm-hmm. Cool. HR gets back to me. They're like, oh, we'll offer you $16. I have a degree and I have experience.
And you talking about some 16?
You talk about $16. So I text my mentor. I said, listen, this is what HR is telling me. She was like, I'm on it. 2 hours later, I was like, all right, we can offer you 18. That's what I thought.
Yeah, like, let's correct that. Because I don't think people be understanding, like, degrees don't mean we ain't just went through 4-5 years or whatever, however long, for nothing. For a couple of dollars. Like, what's this about the fee?
Okay.
Like, I know for some people, that may be like, oh, that's a good amount.
No,
not if you got a degree. Like,
okay, because I'm not about to be making the same amount. Like, and I tell myself this every time, like, not to boast about it, but I'm not about to be making the same amount as somebody that only has a high school diploma. Like, I went through 4.5 years for a reason.
Yeah, and then hard work, dedication, determination on top of that
exactly.
to get to where you are.
Okay, yeah. I'm not doing that. So we got that resolved. I was able to work there. Worked in kindergarten. When I tell you, I absolutely hated it. Mm-hmm. Hated it.
Is it because of the kids?
It was not the kids. It was not. I love the kids. So it was a Montessori school. And if you're not really familiar with Montessori, it's like their philosophy is meeting the child where they are. That's perfectly fine, and I get it, because you have to meet the child where they are.
Yeah.
Because
to better understand them.
Yeah, because like when you go into kindergarten, when I think going into kindergarten, I think you know nothing. Not trying to be funny, but I'm taking it. You're a blank canvas, and I'm about to mold you.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Because parents is already trying to shape you. We're just molding and hardening.
Okay.
Sure
and then some parents are more advanced than other parents. Some parents, you know your alphabet, you know your numbers, you know stuff. Some parents, you just know your nickname. You don't even know your full name. It's a nickname.
Yeah, they get so used to calling, "Hey, JJ."
Exactly.
My name's JJ.
Exactly.
No, my name's James.
Okay, your name is Jaden.
Right.
But all right, I get it. But I didn't like it because I did not go to school for education.
Yeah. I'm
teaching children 1 + 1, but I just did 4.5 years to figure out why your brain acts the way it does.
Yeah.
It was
your mental.
Okay.
How are you thinking?
I didn't go to school for teaching your alphabet or your letter sounds.
Yeah. So
I was miserable. I literally was going home crying every day. I dreaded waking up in the morning. I hated it. So December, I went to my principal/mentor and I said, listen, I'm taking a leave of absence. I'm taking a whole month of January off. I'll be back in February. And that's when my life, I would say, did a complete 180. I was talking to my boyfriend and I asked him a question. I'm like, what is something about me that you think I need to work on? He was like, honestly, your drive. Like, you have no drive left in you. And it literally...
Because that job sucked your drive.
Okay. And hearing him say that, it broke my heart. Like, I was pretty messed up after that. And I was like, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
I have no motivation to do anything anymore. Like, I was literally getting up, going to work, coming home. That was it. Like, so that next day, I got up. I applied to 20 jobs. 20 minutes later, I got a call from an agency that I had applied for before I graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, you applied for us again? I'm like, yeah. They was like, oh, we want to bring you in for an interview. All right, cool. That next week, went in for an interview. By the end of the week, they called me like, we want to offer you the job. I said, okay. I said, can I get a couple of days to think about it? Because, mind you, I'm still employed at that school. I'm just doing my leave of absence.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm weighing out my options because I'm like, okay, do I go back to the school, finish out the school year, but be miserable, but I still have that support of my mentor/principal, or do I quit, not go back and do something that I actually enjoy doing?
And that's actually a hard decision.
It was a very hard decision because I'm like, this lady didn't move mountains for me to get there. And I leave her when I'm supposed to be getting a mental health break. I felt pretty messed up about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, listen, she made her career decision.
Yeah.
It's not for me to make mine.
Yeah.
So I called the agency back and I was like, I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it.
That's what's up.
And I did. And I think that was a really good decision for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is your life. This is your path that you're going into. You can't. And then that's a good mental note, too, for yourself. Because for one, you already in the field learning mental. And then you got to think about it for your own self. Like, dang, now I got to think on that aspect, too. So making that move for yourself that's very smart.
Yeah.
And you actually thought about it. You ain't just jump on it. It was just like, oh, well, I'm going to leave because I was miserable there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not only was I leaving my mentor, I was leaving those kids. Yeah. I started to make a connection with those kids. The parents started to love me. Like, I was having parents bring me breakfast sandwiches every morning. You thought I was about to leave that for... Listen.
It's food.
Okay?
Food.
I was getting gifts, breakfast sandwiches. I'm like, what's not to love? But I'm like, I love y'all, but I gotta love y'all from a distance.
Right. From a distance.
Okay. So
how has it been now since you're still currently?
Yeah.
Okay. So how has it been since when you first started there to now?
So I'm a caseworker.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when a family gets a CPS case, my agency picks up that case from CPS, and my job is to go into that household and do interventions, different things with the family to make sure that the children can stay within the home.
Yeah.
I'm in constant communication with CPS. I don't like saying this, but literally I can make or break families, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I really encourage my parents to cooperate with me, because if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to work and grind with you.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. But if you're giving me such a hard time, you're not entertaining me or doing none of that, I gotta call your worker and I gotta tell them, like, hey, I'm doing services, I'm doing what you asking me to do, but they're not participating.
Yeah.
So either you might have to come up in here and tell them, like, you need to participate, or sorry, your kids gotta be taken from you.
Yeah. And that's hard decisions too.
It's very hard. So when I first started working, I'm like, when they told me that, I'm like, I'm literally like making or breaking families. Like, so I took it personal for a while, but I started to feel myself getting burnt out so early. And I was starting to take stuff very personal, because I'm just like, I don't want to be the reason why a little girl can't sleep in her bed at night. Like, I don't want to be that reason. But my supervisor and my coworkers was like, you're putting in all the work that you're supposed to be doing. It's up to the parents to do their half of the work. So once I started to look at it that way,
it shaped you.
It changed my mindset completely. And once I feel them like detaching themselves from me, I have to remind them, like, hey, I just talked to your worker. I'll call her again. Don't play with me. But
like, get it together.
No, literally, get it together.
Let me check you.
Okay, but I checked them very professionally.
Of course,
like, you gotta threaten them very professionally, very professionally. Then they'll be like, "You're right. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah, but that's honestly but you have to think about it, because I recently just had a conversation with my family member. She's been just entrepreneurship in general. Like, a lot of the ladies in my family are entrepreneurs, and when I had to make a hard decision on not working with the client based off of certain energy or certain conversations that was said, she was like, don't take it personal.
No,
because at the end of the day, you don't need their funding. You don't need, like, that's not gonna make or break you.
Right.
Like, you can move forward. Yes, word of the mouth matters. However, as long as you're doing it professionally and you're being about business, don't take it personal. Because as soon as you get personal, you gonna drain your business downhill instantly. Okay. Or your passion or anything that you have going for yourself. Because you're thinking about your emotions involved, and you don't need to. No, take them emotions out that basket. Take that personality out the basket, and just strictly put business.
Okay. Because I had to do that with one of my clients. Like, I literally cried after one of my sessions with her, because she was just so mean. She was so mean. Like, she was mad at her CPS worker. So she was taking all of her energy out on me. And I'm like,
see, I ain't did nothing to you.
All right. So I was crying. I was sad. And I was talking to my therapist, and I told her about it. And she was like, the next time you go see her, just politely sit down and you tell her, I'm here to help you.
Right.
Okay? I can help you as long as we are respectful towards each other. I respect you. You respect me. You create that boundary with her.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I went the next day. I politely told her, listen, I get that this is a frustrating situation. No one ever wants to deal with this, but this is the current situation that we're in right now. It's up to you to dictate how you want this to go. I still get compliments from her and her CPS worker to this day, and that was 3 months ago.
That's great.
So,
sometimes it takes that little push to, like, okay, let me just lay down the ground real quick. Because sometimes people don't even notice how quick, or if you say certain things, it come off a certain way than how we interpret it. But that's great. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So besides working in this field, what else do you do?
I would say that I'm a mentor. Like I was saying earlier, when I was in my last semester at college, I was interacting with a whole bunch of sophomores and juniors. Mm-hmm. They would text me after I graduated. They'll text me like, "Hey, which class should I take? Which profession should I take?" Aww. So I was helping them guide them through that. They would be like, "Oh, can I see one of your old papers just to see if I'm doing it right?" So I send them my papers. Mm-hmm. I'm a Sunday school teacher at my church. Oh, nice. They got me doing it with the, I would say, like middle school, high school age kids. Yeah. So I'm with them a lot.
So like 15 and older.
I would say like 12 and older. Oh, honestly. Yeah. So I'm with them a lot. Mm-hmm. My cousins, my little cousins, they're always asking me like, "Oh, what should I do for school?" I'm like, mm-hmm.
So pretty much like you love doing helping all around.
Yeah, literally. I literally love helping people. Like if I can make you smile, my day is fine. Okay, we're good.
I'll be the same way.
Like my day is great now. So
literally, like I'm the type of person, like if I know that my friend is down, we don't even have to go spend anything. As long as you with me, we're going to go have some fun. Whether it's walking around the city, taking a walk, just listening. Because sometimes our friends just need that ear. Like, I just need somebody to talk to. I don't need no feedback. Just let me vent.
Let me talk.
Yeah, just let me talk.
Literally. So, yeah. Like, I remember my friend back in college, she was having a, like, horrible weekend. Oh, wow. And I was like, I'm gonna brighten her day. Mm-hmm. So I texted her. I'm like, "Hey, if an unknown number call you, answer it." She was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Just listen to me." So the number called her. She went to go get whatever it was. She calls me back crying. "Oh, what's wrong?" She was like, "You bought me cookies?" I said, "Yes. You were having a horrible day, and I know that would have been something that's to brighten up your day. I couldn't physically be there, right? So why not?"
Yeah.
So doing stuff like that just makes me happy. And it's like, I don't expect for other people to do it for me. Yeah. I really don't. If you do it, great. But if you don't, that's okay. Like I know in my heart, I did it out the kindness of my heart.
Exactly.
So
giver energy.
Yeah.
I'm the same. Yes. I'm the same. I'm more of a giver than receiver. Like people don't be. Like my friends would be like, "Why you be giving so much?" I said, "Cause I like to see that smile. I like to see that." Like, if I know that you're, like, passionate about something and it's something that you need done, but you can't figure out what it is, and I can help with it.
Okay. Well, let's go to the drawing board.
Like, let's go.
Let's figure this out.
Because that shows that not only that you're showing that you're a genuine friend, but you're showing that not only you're listening, but you're also just there. Mm-hmm. And that you can actually help and stuff like that. And just to help give that relief off of them, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love that. I just love helping people. Like that's just something that I think I get it from my mom. Mm-hmm. I would say. Let me take it back. I think I get it from both parents. Mm-hmm. I say I get it from both parents because my dad, he irritates me. Irritates the living crap out of me. But I can't say he isn't there for me. Mm-hmm. Whatever I need, there. Same thing with my mom. If I call her crying, she'll pull up. What's up?
What's wrong?
What's going on?
Who made my child cry?
Okay. What's going on?
You gotta throw their hands.
Okay. Let's figure this out. So, yeah, I most definitely got that from my
parents. I love that.
Yeah. That's most definitely got that from my parents.
Now, are you one of those very protective friends as well?
Almost definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Almost definitely. Like, when my friend used to call me about her boyfriend or her situation shit, where he at?
Yeah.
But.
Drop it, Addie.
Okay. But I'm also the type of friend that does not hold grudges against people.
Yeah.
Because like if my friend told me about her boyfriend and did something to her, but she tells me that they made up, we made up too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna forget what you did.
Right. We can forgive but not forget.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna remember in the back of my head.
Like I didn't forget that you did such and such. Okay. But I let it slide for right now.
For right now, because she said that y'all cool again, so we cool again. But the moment you mess up again,
I'm keeping my eyes on.
Then we beat out again. So, but I can't say the same about my friend. So. We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that.
But it really be like that though, because like a lot of like I was just having a conversation with my best friends last night or the other night actually. That's funny, and they can't tell me particular things because I'll be so quick to where the Addie?
Okay, where he at?
Where they at? Let me pull up. Like, no.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person, I don't like when people either, if I know someone that is messing with my friend, whether that's either using them verbally or using their energy or just doing them wrong on the low, and they not seeing that, but I am. Oh,
okay.
That bothers me.
It bothers me to the core. Soul.
Yes, like why?
Okay,
but why?
Okay, because
like oh
why?
My gosh,
just why?
Like
that's just the question.
Why? Hey guys, we wanted to take a quick little break just to do a quick shout out to TC's Art Gallery. That is T as in Tom, C as in Cat, S as in Sam Art Gallery. They do custom art, custom jewelry, and custom photos. They also help with your logo, updating your website, or if you need a website, and they help with social media advertisement or social media management. If you don't feel like dealing with your social media at all, contact TC's Art Gallery today. That is T as in Tom, C as in Cat, S as in Sam Art Gallery. And also check out their website at tcsartgalleryllc.square.site. All right, back to the show. But yeah, I think that's just literally how it should be when it comes to like friendships and building bonds or relationships in general, or getting close to anybody or anybody that you give your time or energy to. So that's just lit. Okay. I love it. So like in the beginning of the episode, I had you pull for your topic.
Okay.
And you had got advice on nervousness.
Yeah, I did.
So what's some advice that you would give on nervousness, or how do you deal with nervousness on yourself? For yourself?
Okay. So nervousness for me, it looks really different for me. Like right now, I am kind of nervous, but you can't really tell.
Yeah.
So I say I can hide it pretty well, but some people that can't hide it, I would just say it's okay, like to feel nervous at times, because who cares? Like, not saying who cares, but nobody is really paying attention to you. For real,
unless you make it noticeable.
Right. So, like I have anxiety, like.
Everyone pretty much do.
At this point, they do. At this
point, they pretty much
everybody
do.
Does. But I would just say, take a moment to breathe. It's okay if you're not feeling like yourself 100% of the time. Yeah. If you just take that moment to walk away from whatever you're doing, if it's homework, if it's work, if it's being a parent. I'm not a parent, but I'm around a lot of parents, and I just tell them like. They always apologize like, oh, I need to go do something. I'm so sorry. I'm in your home.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just take care of your home.
Yeah.
So I would just say, take a moment, walk away from whatever you're doing, even if it's an hour. Even if you don't pick it back up.
Right.
At least you walked away and you cleared your mind.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that is important, is you clearing your mind. Because if you continue to do whatever you're doing and you're all worked up, something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make the situation bigger than what it has to be. So I'll just say, take a moment, walk away from it. If you go back to it that same day, good for you. If you don't, for next couple of days, at least it gets done. Yeah. It gets done in time. So
yeah, I feel that for sure. I feel like nervousness comes with a mixture of anxiety a little bit too.
Most definitely.
Especially like if you're dwelling in it and you're just like, okay. Like it's like different levels of like that okay moment where like, okay, do I have the moment to? And it's messed up for people that either don't know how to control it or don't know how to. So that was really great advice that you just gave too. And I feel like and anxiety plays a role in a lot of different dynamics, and some people don't even notice that they're having anxiety or nervousness when they're in the middle of doing whatever, because they just like, well, I'm feeling calm. Why am my hand shaking?
Right.
Like, why am I tapping the table right now?
Right.
What is this energy, or why am I feeling like this?
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like that plays a huge role too, of like how to do things and how to maneuver. And I feel like, yeah, that's crazy. So how do you feel like in college? Was your nervousness like up and down all the time? Do you feel like you accomplished it a lot of times when you needed to?
I feel like it was up and down a lot, especially once it got towards that end, so like that junior or senior year, because that was COVID for me. So I was just like, okay, what do I do after this? Like, I went online for 2-3 semesters, and then my last semester, they're like, boom, you going back on campus. What? Last semester, you gonna throw me back on campus?
All right. Like, I got comfortable.
Okay. I was not getting dressed for class. Right. Now I gotta get dressed. All right, cool. But I think that walking away, taking a moment, planning really helped me. Like, once you get those syllabus at the beginning of the year, I was writing every assignment out. And if I had an assignment due, I give myself like 3 days to do it before it's due. So I'd say if you can plan. If you can't, if it's just like the spur of the moment, something's thrown at you, then you take a step back, you analyze the situation, you can control the things that you can control. Yeah. That's what everybody tells me, because I had a hard time of doing that. Yeah. But just pay attention to the things that you can control, and the things that you can't control, it don't matter. It really does not matter. So take a step back, control the things that you control. And I think that's how I got through those last few semesters of college. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that is hard to do, especially when like you want to control something, but it's like, it's kind of like holding the ball or grabbing something and you're trying not to fumble with it, like in your hand. And it's like, just let it go.
Okay. Just
let it go.
Drop it.
Just drop it.
Drop it.
Because I've actually been dealing with that for the last few days with the situation that I'm dealing with. But for me, one thing that I'm proud of myself of telling myself, like, you can't control it.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing your day to day. Whatever happens, just gonna happen. Just deal with it. And it took me a minute to get to even saying that for myself.
Okay, I'm still saying that to myself, but I'm not listening though. Not listening though? I don't listen to myself.
I feel like that is so funny, because I literally was just talking about this earlier. Where I was like, we give the best advice to others, but we take a minute to take our own advice for ourselves. And I don't know why.
Okay, because I could have sworn I just told somebody this 6 months ago, and now it's happening to me. I should have listened 6 months ago, and I wouldn't even be in this situation.
Hey, but honestly, I feel like everything happened for a reason.
Okay.
And that's probably why. It's like at the moment, we are put in place to tell people whatever they need in that moment in time. However, even though we most likely need it the most, they needed that moment more than us at that moment, you know? And that's the crazy part. Like, I feel like a lot of us don't sit down and dwell on those moments where you gotta give yourself kudos. Like, okay, I did good on that feedback. Oh, okay, I did good on taking that moment better, or handling that moment better than my old self would have. Like, because my old self probably would have been like, I'm freaking out, anxiety attack, headache.
Yep. In the corner crying.
Yes, like rocking back and forth. Like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And that also shows that over the time, like, your maturity too.
Okay, because you for sure grow. Okay.
Man. So over time for you, like, where have you seen the biggest changes within yourself as your character grew into the woman you are now?
I would say my emotions. You can ask literally anybody that knows me. I literally wear my emotions on my sleeve. Like, you gonna know how I feel in that moment. If I'm pissed, you gonna know it. If I'm sad, you gonna see me crying. Like, but now I'm still emotional. I'm still an emotional person, but I know how to control it differently now. Yeah. Like, small things don't. Let me back up. Like, small things do irritate me still, but they don't get the reaction that they did 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Like,
and that's a huge difference too.
No, literally. Like last year, my parents told us that they got divorced, and then shortly after the divorce, my dad started dating. Oh wow! And I was just like, what?
Like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all just told us. Wait, slow down.
Like, what?
Yeah.
But now, I'm just like, yeah, my dad's dating. Like, I can say it Like, it can roll off my tongue now.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
But last year, when people were like, "Oh, how's your dad?" He's doing that thing that you do when you meet somebody new, and they be like dating that. I could not say it. Yeah. Now it's like, yeah.
Because it's like you were so used to seeing a connection, a bonding relationship amongst your
parents. My parents were married for 30 plus years. And it all ended on a family game night last year.
Not them doing it on the game night.
Okay. And I tell them about themselves every chance I get.
That ain't messed up game.
No, literally, like, we're at my sister's house, chilling. And my parents, we watching a movie. And my parents like, "Oh, we gotta tell you something." Thinking like we about to go on vacation or something.
Right.
Nah. We got a divorce. I said, "So y'all in the process of getting divorced? Or like, what is that?" Happened. They was like, "Oh, no, it's finalized."
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, like,
And then my mom was like, "I'm moving."
Oh! Wow!
Okay.
Mind blowing. Didn't expect that.
All right.
Double whammy. Okay.
So
mom did move, dad got a new boo.
Okay.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
But that's crazy because, like, but I kind of respect them a little bit because if you take your kid through that whole process, that's draining too.
Yeah, and they said the same thing, but I'm like, we're not.
But y'all older.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we're not 8 years old.
Yeah.
So,
y'all could have took it. Y'all probably would have took it a little bit better.
Right, and plus, my mom was like, well, when we started the process, you were finishing up in school, and I had just, so right at the end of my college career, I had just got diagnosed with depression, anxiety, ADD, and a reading disorder. So
that's a lot.
I know. That's at the same time, because when she kept saying "and," I said, "Ma'am, you say 'and' one more time, I'ma just think y'all just diagnosing me with random a whole bunch stuff."
At this point.
But when I told my parents that, I guess that took another like toll on them, because it's like, damn.
We want to tell y'all,
but now if I tell you, I don't know how you gonna react.
Right.
So I understand that, but at the same time, I explained to both parents, I'm like, if we would have went through this process together. So my parents went through their whole divorce process. I don't even know how long the process was, but they went through that process together. They went through their grieving process already. So by the time they had told us, they were content with the situation. Yeah. But now you done told your kids.
And now you got to see us go through
I'm going through my grieving process, and they wanted me to go through it the same way that they did. Or I should have, they told us and they wanted me to be over it. That's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
You went through your grieving process already. I did not.
Yeah.
So we bumped heads a lot for the first 6-7 months. Like, my sister didn't come around. I wasn't talking to my sister. It was a lot.
It's just a lot that piled on.
It was a lot. Thank God for therapy, because I don't know where I would have been during that time if I did not have therapy.
Yeah. Because going through that mentally by yourself is, for one, overwhelming, overbearing, and then you can have so many different trigger moments that you didn't even realize don't happen to you. Yeah. And that is a lot.
It is.
I feel like, but even though I feel like at that moment, even though they understood like where you were mentally, I feel like when they saw you a little better, they should have said something then. Because yes, that was a lot for you at that moment of like hearing so many ands in that moment. But I feel like after them hearing that, okay, we can give her probably like 6-7 months, we'll tell her. Because then all of y'all could still go with them through that process. Yeah. But I feel like, that's a lot.
Okay.
Because they said, well, Mama said I'm gone.
Right.
Dad said, moving on. Here's your stepmom. Like, hello.
I like it, but okay.
Yeah. So. Like, I guess. So, I know we grown, but
still.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a lot.
But honestly, like, luckily you guys, it's sad for the whole reason in general, but luckily you guys are grown to take that. Because even though y'all took it still differently, as a younger child going through that, it feel like you getting your life ripped apart.
Yeah. And that's what my my mom was trying to prevent, and my dad was trying to prevent it as well, because earlier I talked about how I have a sister that's 19 years older than me. Mm-hmm. He went through a very dramatic and very traumatizing divorce with her mom.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't want that for us. Yeah. And I respect both of my parents for that, and I really do. But at the same time, I'm just like, you kind of did the same thing,
but just differently.
Just not at the same age. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think they really grasp that yet still. So.
That's still crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think that they, every parent is different. Every adult is different, and they think differently, because we all have our own thought processes. Mm-hmm. But going through that is like a drastic experience, especially since y'all seen your parents together for 30 years. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of years.
Okay.
And then just to see it, we're done.
We're done.
Huh?
We just watched the movie.
That was just right, and then it was on game night.
Like we was
having fun. Turn it up.
Watch another movie, and I'm like, and they told us at my sister's house.
Yeah.
So me and my sister processed it differently, and she was crying the entire time. I cried, but I was like, I can't.
You still in shock?
Break down all the way.
Yeah.
So they kept you poke a bear and you starting to get a reaction. They were doing that to my sister. She wasn't saying nothing. She was just crying, and they kept asking her, "What's wrong? You want to talk? What's going through your head?" Da 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 da.
Let her.
I said, "Stop talking to her." That was the day that I literally forgot that I was their daughter. I said, "Stop talking to her, because she gonna cuss y'all asses out." Okay? Y'all better stop. I looked at my sister. I said, "You want us to leave?" She like, "Yeah." Get y'all shit. We gotta go. Mm-hmm. I know my sister.
Yeah.
She's quiet. She's crying. Y'all keep asking her the same question.
She's gonna blow
over
up.
And over again. She was definitely gonna forget that y'all was her parents.
Real quick.
So I advise y'all to grab your stuff and politely leave. We'll text you when we get home.
Right.
And so my parents politely grabbed their stuff. I said, and we out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because I know with parents telling their kids big news like that, they want a response instantly from us, and we're just like, can I just stop?
I need to process.
Can I just process what you just said?
Yeah,
because
because literally our whole world was turned upside down
real fast
in one night.
Yeah,
and you wanted me to respond right then and there.
I can't talk. I'm still trying to hear the first few words you just said out your mouth a few moments ago. Can I just process
I blacked out after you just said divorce.
Huh?
Growing up, my parents did not show emotion. They did not show affection. I thought that's just how marriage was. Oh. That's how I thought it was, because that's all I saw.
Yeah.
But when I got into my current relationship, I'm like,
this feels different. This feels very lovey.
Sounding right.
Right.
But I always knew my parents didn't show affection towards each other, but I just thought that's just how their relationship worked.
You thought it was normal?
Yeah. But then they was just yeah, divorce. I said, oh, it was that bad.
Oh, right, dang.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Yeah. That's all yours.
But still give us a minute to process it.
Because we still need a minute.
Yeah, because I can imagine. That's an incident for me. It wasn't really divorce. My parents were never married, but they still raised me the best they could through. And that's one thing that I love that my parents still did. They had the best relationship of communicating and always telling each other what's going on, even if one of the other isn't there. So I remember one time, because I'm the second oldest on my dad's side.
Okay.
And my dad picked me up first, and he was telling me about me having a new little sister. Yeah, so I was in shock, because it was, no, actually now I'm thinking about it was me and my brother. I was sitting in the front with my dad. My oldest brother was in the back, because we the oldest. And he was like, oh yeah, so such and such pregnant. And I was like,
yeah, that's how my dad told my older sister about me.
And then my my oldest brother was the only one talking, and I was just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started crying. I didn't know why I was crying. I was just like,
that's the reaction y'all got.
That's the reaction you get. And then my dad kept talking to me. I was like, stop. Because I was like,
because you can't just slide that in there.
Right? Like, it's a normal, because we on the freeway. We're on the freeway in the car.
Because I would crash this
car.
I
was like,
all of us in it.
Because my brother was like, oh, okay, well, congratulations.
No.
And I was like, you're married.
Okay.
This ain't your.
Okay. This ain't. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I can imagine, even though that's two different feelings, but it's still, I understood what your sister was going through.
Okay.
Because that's like you trying to process what you say.
Right.
You said what?
It's like, come again.
Say what?
Because maybe I didn't hear you right.
Right. Like, maybe we need to elaborate.
Okay.
What you just said out your mouth.
I'm gonna need you to repeat it.
Like,
repeat that.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's. I don't know how we got on this topic. I ain't gonna hold you. But this is still good. I love it. But you also chose a number. Switching topics a little bit. We also chose a number in the beginning of the show. I chose. Amy talk. I told you to choose a number between 1 through 10, and you chose number 6.
Yes.
Yes, you did. And number 6 is a game. It's called On the Spot Game.
Oh.
So pretty much, I'll say a word to you, and the first thing that comes to mind, you just say whatever the first thing that comes to mind. So I'm gonna give an example. So like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word rock star?
Madonna.
See, that easy. So it's just like that.
All right.
So okay, so now we're gonna play. So what's the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word responsible?
Me.
I feel it.
Listen, I am responsible. I'm very responsible.
Okay. Let's see it.
Like, I am responsible. Listen, so I'm the youngest, right?
Right.
But everyone thinks that I'm one of the oldest kids. And I'm just like,
no, I'm the baby.
I'm the baby. I'm the baby. And my therapist always tells me that I need to step in the baby sister role. I'm like, first of all, you didn't have to say that. Okay, you didn't have to call me out like that, ma'am. I said, but how do you step into a baby sister role when your older sister don't know how to be an older sister?
Oh, that's actually a real thought.
Okay, so yeah, I'm the responsible one.
Yeah, because like for me, on my mom's side, I'm the baby.
Okay,
because it's just me and my sister. But then on my dad's side, I'm the second oldest out of.
Okay.
6 of us.
It's always the daddy side.
Yes.
It's always the daddy side.
I have to really think about it because I was so used to us 4 for the longest. Mm-hmm. But now it's 3 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
I'm the oldest girl.
He said he had to even that out.
Yeah. But in addition to his wife's children, which is my stepmom, in addition to her children, it's 11 of us.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So... We're a football team, you know.
I see.
We run deep.
Okay, so, I know not to mess with y'all because there's only 3 of us and 1 don't even live here. So
wow.
Yep. I know not to mess with y'all.
But that's on his side. But then on my mom's side, it's just literally me and my older sister, and me and her are 10 years apart. So that's how we know. How old is you? Because I remember. Oh, that just made me think of it. This one time, me and my sister she just came in town to visit because she doesn't live here. Mm-hmm. And she was like, how old? She asked me, how old am I? I told her, I was like, 33. She's like, oh, yep. Dang. 33. I was like, yeah, girl.
That's what I do with my sisters. They be like, how old you turning? Add 19 to your age, add 6 to yours. That's how I'm turning.
Right.
Or subtract.
Right.
So.
And so then I'm like, and she was like, dang, I'm really about to, oh. Dang! I was like, yeah. We're 10 years apart.
My middle sister be like, how old you turning? I'm like, if you're going to be 30 this year, subtracted by 6. I'm going to be 30 this year?
Because I feel like the reason why they say that is because time be flying so fast.
Literally.
And you don't even be realizing. You just still catching up on birthdays. You be like...
She been telling people I'm 18 for the longest. I'm literally about to be 24. But okay. All right.
It's so funny because like... friends of family that come to visit, they be like, "Oh, ain't you just still 19?" I'm sorry, huh? Mm-mm. No, boo.
No, people be asking me like, "How's school going?"
What school?
Girl, I graduated 2 years ago. Like, what are you talking about? I'm in my whole career field right now.
That's what I'm like, what are
you talking about?
Because literally, a friend of the family came over the other day. He was like, "Oh yeah, ain't you about to be just turning 20?" And my mom was like, no. What? She just turned 23. He was like, "Stop lying." I was like, oh. Because I was making jokes like, "Are you even old enough to drink? Are you old enough to be here?"
Okay.
Like,
I'm worried about the wrong things.
Don't come for me.
Leave me alone.
Like, chill.
I'm on earth.
All right, I'm going to throw out another word and then we're going to continue.
All right.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear entrepreneur?
My man.
Period.
My man.
And why is that the first time?
He has so many dreams and aspirations, and I'm just so proud of him. I don't think I tell him enough, but I am very proud of him. Before we even met, he had like this shoe store. I don't know what to call it, but he had a shoe store, and some things happen when you're working with family. You know, sometimes you can't trust all family.
Yeah.
And he ended up having to close the store. And I said, "How much do you need? How much do you need? And I'll put it up. Like, if I can't find it,
I'll at least help as best as I can."
Okay? Like,
that's a strong period wife material.
Okay, so go ahead and tell him that. But I say my man, he has a lot of dreams and aspirations. He does not want a boss. And I get that.
Yeah.
But in the field that I'm in, you kind of need a boss. But
yeah. Well, that's
totally the point. But with him, I feel like he could be the CEO, founder of any company. So
yeah, that's lit.
Say my man.
I love it. Yeah. Period. Say his name. Say his name. But I feel that's dope. Before we close, is there anything that you would love to say?
Ooh. Okay. Because I have this feeling a lot.
What?
But if you feel like the world is against you, it's just yourself against yourself.
Girl, yes.
Like, it's your mind tricking you and telling you that you can't do it, but in reality, you can do whatever. So if you ever feel that way, you look in the mirror and you just think you're not the same person you was last year.
Yeah.
Just say that to yourself. I am not the person that I was last year. You wash your face and you go about your day. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got to ask a quick question before we fully close.
Okay.
When comparing your younger self, from your beginning stages of adulthood up until now, what can you say you fully blown is so proud of yourself for?
I would say the way that I love myself. Because I only saw my self-worth in other people or
other experiences,
other situations, other men. But now I know that I have to love myself before I can love anybody else.
Yes.
So most definitely say loving myself from when 18 to now. Yeah, that's self-love a lot.
That's amazing. And I think a lot of people don't understand what self-love really is until they really experience it. You just like, oh, girl, look at you, look at you. Gas yourself up, all up in the mirror. Okay, daily motivation. Stop playing with it. All right. Is it first of all, are we doing part 2?
Almost definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, those that are listening, we are going to do a part 2, and our part 2 will be on our lovely Patreon. Make sure you subscribe and be a member of our Patreon, and subscribe to our lovely podcast, so you can be able to get the juicy details, early access, and a lot more. So let's get into that, right? Yes. If also, all of our lovely information of our lovely Miss Baker will be in the bio and description. So make sure to give her some love and support. I am tongue-tied like a mug right now. But that is life. It happens.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. Until next time, see you guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Elegance of Nae Podcast. I'm your host, Nae, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also follow us at the Elegance of Nae Podcast. Until next time, see ya.